Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 22 of WTF Live. I am Kim from WindowWorks. We are located in Livingston, New Jersey. We service the New Jersey, New York area. We have a showroom that is open to retail clients and also to the trade, and we assist you with all of your window treatment and awning needs.
And my name is Vita. I am the owner of Vitalia Inc., and we are a window treatment and awning supplier to the trade in the Philadelphia area. And I see we're here on Instagram joined by Catherine Abbott. Hi, Catherine. And also by my friend Renee. Hey, Renee. It's wonderful to have you guys here. We are here hanging out, Kim and I, every Friday, because if it's Friday, it's WTF Live, where we talk about window treatments and awnings and all sorts of things, design, soft furnishings related. So come join us every Friday.
Yes.
And today we are concentrating on awnings.
Yes, specifically unique awning installations. So,
Yes, these
with that
pictures
being
are
said,
awesome. Okay, as
yes.
soon as it
So,
starts
luckily, we
working
have.
on Facebook. Here it is. All right.
All right, there we go. So, the first installation we're going to be talking about today is roof mounted awnings. Now, if you have a home like this one, for example, and you've wanted an awning and never thought, oh, how are we going to make it work? There is really no like flat mounting surface. The door, the top of the door goes almost to the top of the gutter.
Hmm.
The roof line is a little uneven and whatnot. Well, we can install your awning onto the roof. And so,
Boom.
yep, right above, right there. And what you can see here, this is a profile shot of it. You can see how the brackets elevate the awning up in order for it to roll out and cover and give you a decent amount of pitch and shading. So if you have a setup like this, no worries. Anyone that specializes in awnings and awning installation will be able to help you figure out on how to treat and how to get an awning on a house like this. So this is the side view, and this is what it looks like from the front.
Hmm.
So you
So
will
like
note,
these brackets, they're like four little legs essentially that
yes,
elevate the
that
awning up,
in order to get it out,
right?
in
So
order
that
for it to, in order for
something
it to
to
clear.
remember, yep, because the awning pitches down when it rolls out,
Correct.
it is pitched down. So if we were to, even if there was a little bit of the flat area above the door and the window, and even if you installed the time open and rolled out and pitched down, people would have been banging their heads.
Right.
So
Right.
it's still important to remember about that pitch and to elevate it high enough so that a, I don't know, like a 6'4", a six
hmm
five human being can walk under it. What's the
So
usual
you
standard
want the
there?
front bar to at least clear a minimum of 7 feet. So especially if you have someone that is of the taller height, they're not feeling like they're going to walk into the front bar, and they can feel comfortable walking, underneath the awning.
Kim, tell me, do you ever face any concerns from the homeowners about drilling into the roof, and how does that work?
So there are special like silicone and things that the guys put in order to make sure that there are no leaks that go into there. There are times that we have put the awning up and then the roof has been changed out, and then all of a sudden there's like holes that happen. But then when situations like that happen, a lot of times it's not necessarily us. So
Hmm.
again, if you go to someone who's experienced in awnings, they will know how to install an awning onto your roof to avoid any type of leaks or anything that's going to happen on the interior side.
And also knowing exactly where to position those brackets because they have to
Correct.
go into the roof joists, not just into
Yeah.
the I
Just
don't
not into the shingles.
know,
Uh,
shingles, right? That's the word I was
yeah.
looking for.
Yeah, so just so there you go. So this one here, as you can see, it you can kind of see the peak of the roof kind of peeking up above the awning there, which isn't something that is very typical. Normally, when you're looking at an awning, you're just looking at it and it's installed on a flat surface. Well, for this client, they had their patio table right next to their sliding glass door, which is pretty typical. And what you can see is that we installed the awning on either side on the roof again, a roof mount on either side of the peak of the house,
Mhm.
of that, peak of the roof line. So there are ways that sometimes we do, like in the drapery world, where we have to get creative in how we mount brackets and everything else. So this is possible. So with this particular installation, we had to get roof mount brackets that had a little bit higher of a pitch in order for it to clear, since we were expanding on either side of that roof there. And this way you could see how severe the pitch goes down, because you really want to cover and be able to shade that table.
Right, versus if you guys were to make it super flat, then the shade wouldn't have been cast onto
It
the
would have been
table. So you really
it,
have to figure out that pitch.
that pitch. And so this one, which was unique, and it's not something that you would typically see, because you have the arch window that we're dealing with, and you couldn't just go straight across, obviously, because you would cut that window off. So our awning specialists, our guys, Rich and JC, they're very talented in what they do, and we were able to come up with this for this in order to install a set of brackets on either ends. And so it has a total of 4 brackets to give it that support. The awning itself isn't that
Right.
wide, so you didn't need multiple brackets. It's very similar to like when you're doing a drapery rod and you're expanding, like depending on the width of the awning, depends on how many brackets you're ultimately
You know,
going to need.
it's interesting. It reminds me of a lot of the window treatment situations where you can walk into a house and it could
Hmm.
be just something very like a standard colonial house, and the windows are pretty standard, and there's plenty of wall space up above the window, and there's plenty of clear wall space around the windows. There's so the clearances are not a
Hmm.
problem. And it's a situation where, when you hear, oh, well, can't you just throw up a couple of brackets and call it a day? Well, first of all, no, that's not what we do. But however, in that situation, be like, okay, that's not a super challenging installation in terms
Hmm.
of the installing part. But oftentimes, Kim, as both you and I know, what we do is almost never a situation where it's that perfect. There's always
Hmm.
weird clearances and weird moldings and weird step ups and step downs and step ins and indentations and all sorts of like weird architectural stuff happening. And so,
Hmm.
just like in the window treatment world, you really have to know how the brackets get mounted, what types of brackets are available, what kind of clearances you need to think
Exactly.
about. That's exactly what happens in the awnings world as well. And I think somebody who did know what they were doing and weren't creative enough, and also didn't know about the different possibilities and options, somebody would come into a situation like this and be like, nope, not
Can't do it.
possible, can't do it,
Hmm.
there's not enough mounting space, the pitch will be all weird, you got a weird peak sticking out, like, we don't know,
Hmm.
you just throw up your hands and say, I have no idea what's happening. But I think the beauty of these pictures, and we'll show one more from this project, is that pretty much any surface is a fair game, any situation is a fair
Hmm.
game. And if your customer is really looking for that shading solution on the outside of their house, then the awning professionals can really make it work, which is what you
Yeah.
guys have done here, which I thought was super creative.
Yeah. And in a situation like this, you do have to kind of go over all the situations. Like, you will see the peak, it's not a typical look and things like that. So making sure, just like on the drapery side, you cover all these different elements, so that this way when it gets installed, the client isn't surprised. So these are a couple of things to keep in mind with any project that you're
How
doing.
tall are the brackets, Kim?
It all depends on the pitch of the roof and what the pitch that you need, but I know that sometimes we've had some that are like 6 inches high, so that you could really clear whatever's going on. And we've
Hmm.
had to, and also with this, you could also make custom brackets too. Like,
Of
things
course you
are
can.
possible. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next project. This was really cool. At first, I didn't understand what this was. I'm
I
like, is this
know.
the awning?
Yeah. So this was a project of JC's that we just finished installing, and I wanted to show everyone this kind of like close up of it. So you can see here that the house has different levels, right? So you have part of the house is
So
probably,
step ins and
so
steps out, step out.
step in and
Mhm.
step out, which is, that's
Planes.
very typical. This
Mhm.
client had a very wide patio. And what we would typically do in certain cases is we would do like two different retractable awnings. So one you would put like right under the gutter of the roof line of the one that's indented out, and then that would have like a longer pitch. And then under the windows, you would do a second one. Now, when you do that, you create like there'd be a gap and a
Right.
decent amount of gap. So then you'd get that sliver of light. The client really expressed that he wanted one awning going across. So that's where we had to come up with a solution. So with this, you can see that we did a shed roof awning that we installed in order to bring the
Say
parts
that
of the
again for everyone to hear.
so
Shed roof.
a shed roof awning. So in order to bring the mounting surface of the part of the house that's indented back even with the house, so that this way we can install one big awning growing across.
Very nice. It's almost like spacers
Yeah,
in the
we
window treatment world,
exactly.
or shimmies, or
Yeah.
blocks in a I don't know, construction world.
Yeah, and then what we did was we covered it in a sunbrella fabric that was close
Ah,
enough to the homeowner's
house.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that this way it wasn't like, what is that thing that's sticking back
And
out? Like
that's
it's
what I'm
sticking
saying.
out.
Like when I first saw your picture, I'm like, what are we
You're trying to
looking at
figure
here?
out.
I'm like, I don't understand. Where's the awning? Like, what? You must have
Yeah,
sent me the wrong
so
picture.
we created essentially like a bump out with another
Uh-huh.
awning, and we did have to consult with the engineering team to make sure
Oh,
that
wow.
this would work. Yeah, this wasn't just like, oh, let's just do it and
Let's
fingers
just stick
crossed. Yeah.
something onto the
Yeah.
house and call it a day.
Yeah. So, and then we ended up installing a 31-foot awning onto the house. So you can see the awning is expanding from the left side of the house all the way to the right and giving the client ultimately what he wanted,
So it's a
which
little bit
was,
hard to see maybe in pictures,
yeah,
it's retracted, but
yeah,
if you look hard enough, you can see this whole big expand. How wide is it again? How many feet?
31 feet.
Oh my god.
It took five installers.
Oh my god. How did
Hmm.
you transport it? I mean, what did you have to get, like an 18-wheeler to bring it into the house?
Actually, yes. It got it was delivered,
That's
um,
hysterical.
right from the manufacturer
Okay.
once they were done making it. It wasn't one that, like, we picked up and that there would be no way that our van could carry a 31 foot. Yeah, no. So it was definitely something that, was delivered, via the delivery company, New Pen, I think it might have been, but doesn't matter, irrelevant. But
Mhm.
yeah, they did deliver it to the job site. So
Very nice,
it
very nice.
was,
And then when it unrolls, does it cover the whole patio?
yeah, it comes out to just to that, retaining wall that they have there.
Yep.
So yeah.
Very nice. Beautiful. I mean, that is super,
Yeah.
super cool. Alright.
Okay. So right here, this picture looks like a whole lot of nothing. It
I
looks
know.
like, yeah, I know.
We did say these were gonna be
Yeah.
unique awnings, but wait till
Yes.
you see the next picture.
So with this just looks like you have two posts and like a white post going across. Now with this backyard, this particular family had their dining area, unlike a lot of us who have it like right near our like backsliding glass door. It was kind of
Mhm,
floating in, in their backyard. They have it next to their lounge area. They have a whole grill system outside.
mhm.
And so we created this type of floating retractable awning.
That's
Boom.
amazing. I love it.
Yes.
Love
So
it.
the awning is hooked up to what we call a tempo system, a tempo frame. So in order to accomplish this, you can see that the clients have pavers. And in order for us, we had to have a mason come in and pour concrete footers because you can't just drill into the pavers because there's like usually with underneath pavers there's sand, so there's nothing to drill into. So we had a mason come in, pour concrete footers in order for us to then be able to put our posts into the ground securely.
How wide are
So
the footers? Are they like 2 by 2 or 4 by 4? Like,
it
just
all,
so they're
yeah,
little just because your leg is so little, the base
no,
is so
I believe these might have been 4 by 4, and
thin?
you have to make them big enough to order to have the support because
Mhm,
you're talking about a pretty decent size awning to cover the patio.
mhm.
And so, so yeah, so
This is amazing. I was
this is
like, "Wow."
the solution that we came up with. Yeah. So again,
Here it is from a
floating
different
from
angle.
a different angle so you could really appreciate how far it comes out. Now, this one, this particular awning is a fully cassette awning, so you don't have typically, how you see the valance coming
Yep,
underneath. By
mhm.
doing that, when it is fully retracted and concealed, it there's nothing like it just looks like it's the two posts and the structure. There isn't
I
any
think
added.
it looks amazing, Kim.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think a lot of situations, at least here, where we work in the Philadelphia area, yes, you may have houses with some mounting surface, and that's an
Mhm,
amazing situation, like I said, but
mhm,
oftentimes, or I feel like more times than not, you have all sorts of weird situations with a
mhm,
lot of step ins and step outs, and sometimes people just don't want to drill into their house. I
right.
have had a situation, to our point earlier, where the husband was really against about drilling anything into the roof, and no matter how much we told him about using the
Mhm,
silicone around the
mm,
brackets and that nothing will leak and everything will be fine, we find the joys, da da da, is just, he had a mental thing about it. And to have this as an option, which again, this is the
mhm.
whole point of these WTFs, to not for you guys to know everything that we're talking about,
Nope.
but to see what are the options, what are the possibilities, so that later on in a month, in 2 months, in a year, in 10 years, you can kind of retrieve back and say, I think Kim and Vita were talking about something that may be possible in XYZ situation that I'm working on, which is when we come in and can help.
Yeah. And this particular awning, because they had the grill right next door, like to the right of it, we were able to hook it up to some power. So it is on a remote. Um,
Nice.
so that's one thing to think about too. So like if you have, say if your client has a pool area, or if you have a pool area and you want some kind of an awning, then you don't want something that's more of a stationary awning.
Mhm.
You have the possibility to do this. Their table happened to be there, but there could have been chaise lounges that were around the pool. And if you don't have electricity that you can just hit the button, you can manually crank it. It does take a little bit of muscle. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it, but you have to sit there. It is a couple of rotations, but so that's another thing to keep in mind.
You know where I saw these awnings a couple of months ago? We vacationed on Lake Harmony. So anyone from the Philadelphia
Hmm.
area knows it's up in the Poconos, about an hour and a half from Philly. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous lake. And so as I was kayaking up and down the lake, I actually saw these. I took pictures of these. I was going to send it to
Okay.
Vinny, and then, of course, I never had a chance,
Life
because it's
got
like,
in
oh
the
my
way.
gosh, what is this? Is this an awning? Is this a hybrid?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And so this is not just a good idea to have when you don't have good mounting surface, when you don't want to drill into the house, when your seating area is far away from the
Mhm.
house, that no awning will help. So that's where this will is a good idea to do it. But also, if you have vacation properties, if you have docks like lakes, and you
Mhm.
have a dock and you want to have a nice seating area there, and don't just want to have like a flimsy umbrella that can fly away
Fly away. Yeah.
at any point, this is one of the options that you can use.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. And for our
Lord.
grand
The finale.
finale here. So this is for a longtime client of ours that Luann started working with her when she was pregnant with her third child. And now she added
Not
this
Luann's
swing set
child,
to her
Lions
back.
child.
No, the client. No, I think Luann and the client were pregnant at the same time.
That's
I'm
funny.
pretty sure that they were both pregnant at the same time. But now this client is a grandma and put a swing set in her backyard for her grandkids. So that might just look like an awning valance that we attached
That's what it looked like to
to
me when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, that's a
to
cute little balance. That's a window
cute little
treatment on the
idea.
ceiling.
Yeah. So this is it from the front. And then from the side.
Mm-hmm.
And so with this client, you can see the swing set gets a lot of sun, and she wanted to create an area where her grandkids could go out there and safely play, where they're in the shade, they're not getting all the UV rays. So enter this idea of adding awnings to your
Nice.
swing set. So we added two
That's really
retractable
cool.
awnings to the swing set. These, because the swing set is in the middle of the backyard, they are manual, so they have to be cranked out. We had to make sure that that the swing set was very secure into the ground, that it was bolted in tightly because we were adding the extra weight and it coming out.
Mhm.
We just wanted to make sure that it was safe.
Mm,
So, and that's it on a different level
pretty
right
awesome.
there. So
That's
again, this was
great.
something that was super unique. It was our first time doing this a couple years ago, and the client is extremely happy that her grandkids could go out there and play safely.
I can imagine. Of course, I mean, safety of our kids is the most important thing. So if we can protect them from the
Def-
sun rays and the UV rays and all that, that was really great. Awesome job, you guys, as
def-
always.
yes, thank you. Okay, and that's the end of our episode of a couple of unique installs. We have a freebie on the WindowWorks website. So it is a custom awning buying guide. So if you head on over to our WindowWorks, nj.com, you can sign up and we can email you the e-magazine.
Awesome. And also on Vitalia Inc., we have a little goodie for you too. It's called Three Secrets to Choosing Your Perfect Awning. And you can grab your free copy at vitaliainc.com.
Alrighty, everyone. And to keep up with all things Luann, because a lot of great stuff is coming.
Lots of good stuff. There's so much stuff
I
about the
know I
book.
keep
I can't
hyping it up, but
wait.
I know it's coming, I promise. To keep up with all things Luann, follow her on Instagram at Luann Nigara. And if you want to hear the audio version of WTF, you can, wherever you get all your podcasts, or head on over to Luann's website, luannnigara.com. You can hit the podcast tab, and in the search button, if you just hit or type in WTF, you will have all of Vita and Luann's episodes there.
We've done, I think about 12 maybe episodes. We've been at it for a little bit over a
Mhm.
year. So we try to hit one every month or so. And Luann and I always have so much fun just bantering back and forth about all the experiences that we've had with window treatments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you're getting the experience of 40 plus years between the two of us. So definitely search for it and seek it out on Luann's website.
Perfect. And to keep up with everything WindowWorks, we are WindowWorks on Facebook and Instagram. If you have any questions and you are in the New Jersey, New York area, you have any window treatment or awning needs, please give us a call. We would love to help you out on your next project.
And the same thing goes for us. If you are in the Philadelphia area, Vitalia Inc. is your one-stop shop go-to resource where we give you our VIP treatment. We are to the trade only. We service the interior designers. If you're a consumer watching this, you can always reach out to us and we'll make wonderful referral. We work with over 30 different interior designers and we're happy to connect you guys. And if you're an interior designer and you're experiencing pain points with your current workroom, or you're looking for an additional or an alternative resource, or you're simply looking for someone who is extremely organized, extremely buttoned up, who gives you the true VIP service where you know exactly what's going on and you don't have to put in the stress and a lot of work into the projects because we put it onto our plate. We would love to hear from you. So PM us, DM us, call me, email. We're here for you. Would love to support you on your next project.
Alrighty, everyone, that is today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Because if it's Friday,
It's WTF Live. We love having you here. Please let us know your comments, concerns, questions. Would love to see you here live or in recording, whatever works for you. I know everybody's busy, but Kim and I are here every Friday hanging out together for about half an hour and 12 noon. So next Friday, we'll see you right here.
bye.
Bye-bye.